Good evening, everybody. Welcome along. It's Premier League predictions. It's Friday night, and I have a very special guest. I am going to be collabing with this man a lot this year. Please welcome along at the Jimmy Cheese channel to the Premier League predictions game week 7. We're going to do this a bit more regularly, aren't we? This is the plan: is to have a little bit of Saints chat, but look through the fixtures, have a look at the table, and make some predictions for the weekend. I hope my internet is not too bad this evening. I'm a little bit behind because my internet is not brilliant at home at the moment. So apologies if it's a little bit grainy where you guys are. But thank you all very much for joining me. Please do welcome along at the Jimmy Cheese channel. My friend, how are you?
Good evening. Yep, great to be here. It's been a busy week, hasn't it?
Mate, it has been a busy week. We were together Monday night. We went down to the Vitality Stadium Monday night. You have a match day vlog out. Make sure you go check out at the Jimmy Cheese match day vlog from Monday night. I did one as well. Both got our own perspectives on the game. For people tuning in, give us your thoughts. How did you feel about everything on Monday night from start to finish?
It wasn't a derby. And I just want to. I can't be clear about that. It can be feuding cousins if that's what people want. But we've had plenty of discussion with Bournemouth fans, Southampton fans. A few people want it to be. I don't see it as a proper rivalry. And so yeah, we were relatively optimistic, I think, going into the game, weren't we? And then we kind of got there, and it started going downhill from the moment we arrived. Really, just some pretty bad stewards. A couple of nice ones, and then we saw the team's sheets, and straight away I said to you, people were like, nah, they'll put Cornet through the middle, and I was like, no, I think they're going to put Dibbling through the middle, and he's going to try a false 9 again, and yeah, that's what happened. And in a tactics perspective, Dibbling's too young and inexperienced, and we don't quite have the team to be playing that kind of tactic right now, I'm afraid. It's
Nick's
a false
just said
9
in the comments box below about the shambolic treatment down there on Monday. It wasn't great, was it? That stewarding was not particularly pleasant when we walked in, was it? It wasn't nice.
No, I mean the first couple of people we encountered on the outside gates were all right. They were quite nice, and but as soon as we got in, then it was pretty much Gestapo. Yeah. There wasn't really a friendly person inside after that. No, you don't expect too much on an away day, but pretty much every other stadium I've been to, the stewards always make an effort to be polite and friendly. They're looking out for any trouble, but these guys were almost after trouble, I think.
Yeah, no, I felt like that as well. I felt exactly the same. I felt exactly the same. Really disappointed with the result. I'm with you. I thought Tyler Dibbling playing through the middle was a big arse, not playing without an out 9. I think we all questioned the team lineup, and there were some poor performances, wasn't there? I reviewed it this morning on my channel, and I kind of felt that there was more than not playing the striker wrong with the team. I thought that there was some really poor performances in there. I thought Down struggled a bit. He went wandering a lot. I watched it back on Monday Night Football. Sadly, I watched the whole game back. I had some time on my hands yesterday morning before I went to work, and I watched all the analysis before and the halftime and the end, and they were correct in what they said. Southampton, Bournemouth are playing through the lines. They're playing through the middle of the pitch, but we're just going across it all the time, and things are going to have to change really quickly, aren't they? By the looks of things, some interesting comments actually made today. I don't know if you've seen it on TalkSport that Jim White, I think, is very close to Dragan Solak, who's the owner of Southampton, or the owner of Sport Republic, the backer, and he is not happy. He said that I'm going to put a tweet out in a bit, but he's pretty much said that the style will need to change. He expects to see a change in results, and almost referring to a change in how we're playing. That they're not prepared to see us give teams goals anymore from what he was saying. And I thought Martin's press conference yesterday pretty much summed up where he was at with it, because he looked pretty downbeat and he looked like he wasn't his usual self, which you expect anyway. But there's pressure coming now, isn't there? And it doesn't get any easier with this trip tomorrow to the Emirates, does it?
So, yeah, I understand the pressure. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, but he's causing a lot of that himself. Again, going back to the tactics for Monday night, with it being a 4-3-3, whether he would call it a false nine or whether he would say it was something different, that's up to him. But in my eyes, looking at the stats for how they were playing, that was a false nine that they were trying, and a false nine involves, using your defenders. Someone like Flynn Downs would be playing a number 6, and he would drop down, under pressure. He should drop back into the defence, almost slot in there. So then you've got a bit more of an overload through midfield, and then he would be the first pivot, and then distribute it either to the wings or to a midfielder who would be pushing up. Or the other option is he can fully turn and play it to the number 9, which would have been Dibbling. So you've kind of got that turn, play it up here, distribute. So you're playing it out quite quickly. Alternately, they can play it through the midfield and then ping it to the other side of the pitch. That's the way to play out under pressure with a false 9. And
they just couldn't get out, Saints, could they?
Well, so you can just look back through the touches that all the players had. Ramsdale had 62 touches in the 90 minutes.
Wow.
Harwood Bellis, 94. 70 touches for Sugawara. 101 for Bednarak, right?
Yeah.
Taylor, 79. 83 for Flynn Downs. So that's your back, and you're playing your triangle there.
In your 6, yeah.
Yep. And then from there, Matty Fernandez, 48. 20 for Ugachukwu, which shows he wasn't
he had
really
a tough
involved
night,
there.
didn't he?
So unless he was pushing a bit further up. 22 for Cornet. 9 for Fraser. Obviously, he came off.
The dreadful
43
numbers.
for Dibbling. So again, that also strengthens the fact that I think that they were playing a false 9. Is the fact that Downs was trying to get it into Dibbling. And then you've got Stewart ended up with 40, so he came on and did a bit better. Diaz, 40. But it is showing that what they were doing is they were being overloaded in defence and not playing it the right way. And that's properly on tack. It's not just players.
Yeah. And we play one of the best pressing teams in the division this weekend. We go to Arsenal, a team that high press, totally different class. No disrespect to Bournemouth than what we face against Bournemouth. Bournemouth are not a bad side, but Arsenal are just on another planet to anyone at the moment. They're gonna fight for the title. They were right there last season, all season long with Man City. They're one of the best teams in Europe. So tomorrow we're going to come under some huge pressure from Arsenal. Do you feel he's going to change tack tomorrow? Because there's a lot of talk that everybody feels he needs to, but will he tomorrow, do you think? Or do you think he's just going to be stubborn and he'll stick with it how it is and he'll stick with his principles? Because Aaron Ramsdale kind of referred to that he will, yeah.
You've asked 2 questions there. I think there's a third, and that third is can he? Can he?
Yeah, it's a very good question, yeah.
Is it in his skill set? And of course, when he does his coaching badges and things like that, of course they'll learn everything about different tactics. The man's been around football for a long time and played it. He'll know what he's doing, but you develop a style, and I don't necessarily think that he's got that ability to get them players doing something different.
Yeah,
it's just not what he's done with any of the teams over the previous years. And
he's got the personnel, hasn't he? I think he's got the personnel as well to do it. If he wants to do it, he's got the personnel to do it without any question at all. Like, I was on an Arsenal channel this week and they said to me, "Has he got the personnel, Martin, to change it?" And I said, like, yeah, he has. Like, he definitely has, because he's got Onuachu if he really wanted to use him. He's got Stewart, who's slowly getting fitter. He will need to start playing a more of a physical striker and going a bit more direct. And finding somebody that's going to link midfield like Lallana was doing makes perfect sense. And I think we struggle left side because we don't have loads of pace there playing Brereton Diaz. But I think he's got personnel to mix it up if he really, really wants to. He's got a physical centre back in Armal Bella-Kotchap. So let's have a look at the league table. Obviously, Southampton lost that game in the end, and it was an absolute shambles. But let's look at how it's left the Premier League table after this game week. So Southampton still without a win on the board. Only Wolverhampton Wanderers below us with a 1 point. So there's Wolves, Saints, Palace, Leicester, Everton, and Ipswich all without a win. Ipswich got the 4 points with the 4 draws. Everton, Everton picked up their first win against who did they play last week? They won at the weekend anyway. They won. I'm trying to think if they won against Palace. They beat Palace, didn't they? Because Palace are in the bottom 3, so they beat Palace at the weekend. So that's how the bottom of the Premier League table looks at this moment in time. Man United sitting 13th in the Premier League. Let's look at the top end of the table. We face Arsenal this weekend, who sit 3rd at the moment, 14 points, just a point behind Liverpool, who are leading the race at the moment. Man City with 14 points as well. A good start for Chelsea. They're in 4th place, having a very good start under Enzo Maresca. And Aston Villa, they're just on fire at the moment. A really good manager playing some really good football there. When you look at the league table, you look at Southampton already. Does it really concern you? No win on the board, seeing us 1 from bottom. And obviously the goals against as well. We should also talk about the goals against. Actually, let's go back to that bottom of that table. Southampton already conceded 12 goals, scored just the 3, haven't we? So it's been poor, isn't it?
Well, look at Everton. They're -8 and they're a couple above us. So I don't think it's the end of the world yet, but
still a long way to go, isn't there?
Yeah, we need to sort out our set pieces, because there's been 5 set pieces that we've conceded from. I think it's 4 corners, 1 free kick the other day, and if they can sort their the set pieces out a little bit, then that's going to help. That's going to help with the goal difference, because we're leaking goals there. But the real killer is not scoring ourselves. That's
not scoring anywhere near enough goals, are we?
Yeah. So
being good in both boxes is really key, isn't it?
Yeah, we're fortunate at the moment that there's other teams that are just as bad, or just not getting their luck right now. But if we don't change it, they will. Form will change.
Yeah, let's look at this weekend's fixtures in the Premier League. It's the game week 7 this weekend, and it's the last one before this international break. Another international break coming up. So let's have a look at the fixtures this weekend. Palace are against Liverpool. We're going to do score predictions on all the games very, very shortly. Arsenal, Southampton, as we spoke about. Brentford at home against Wolves. Leicester City have a massive game at the weekend. They take on Bournemouth. Man City take on Fulham. This is all the Saturday kickoffs, by the way. West Ham take on Ipswich. Everton have got Newcastle. Then on Sunday, you've got Aston Villa and Man United. Chelsea have got Forest, and Tottenham Hotspur go down to the Amex and take on Brighton and Hove Albion. So we're going to do score predictions, aren't we, on all the games. And loads of people joining the show now. Thank you all very much for tuning in. A massive apologies for my internet, which is absolutely rubbish right now. BT, I'm paying a service for, and it's absolutely naff. I've never got an upload speed. So if you're trying to stream like I am a lot, you get so many issues late at night when there's other people trying to use the internet in the area. It's not even in my household, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, really, really frustrating. Let's jump in a few of your through your comments. There's some interesting comments coming in, actually. Really good one here from Nick. Thank you for joining us, Nick. I'm so relieved that Onuachu and Armal Bellicopter are still here as options right now. I just wish we could involve them at least as subs. Onuachu made the bench for Southampton at the weekend. Martin spoke about him yesterday in the press conference. I believe he'll play some role tomorrow. I might be totally wrong, but I think he'll play some role at the Emirates tomorrow, whether it's coming off the bench or he starts. I'd be surprised if he started, but he'll play a role without any question. Right. Should we do our predictions? Should we have a look at each game and do some predictions? We want everyone to get involved as well, don't we? We want everyone to give us their thoughts on the games this weekend.
Put it in the comments.
We need it in the comments. We need you guys involved. So first up this weekend is Crystal Palace, who take on Liverpool in that early kickoff. The alarm bells will be ringing down at Selhurst Park as Crystal Palace have had a dismal start to the Premier League season. Has left them stranded in the relegation zone along with Southampton and Wolverhampton Wanderers after failing to win across any of their first 6 games this season. Manager Oliver Glasner is under a bit of pressure right now. What's your thoughts on this one? How do you see this one unfolding at Crystal Palace with this early kickoff?
It's not looking good for Palace there. Liverpool, obviously top of the league right now. Mo Salah looks incredible. It's Diaz as well, doesn't it? They're right back at
class.
It. Palace did win the last meeting, which was back in April last season, 1-0. But there's a huge gulf. I think things have changed since then. And I can't see anything but a Liverpool win on this, I think.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be a Liverpool win. What score are you going to go with? What's your score prediction? What do you think it'll be?
I just want to make it clear, okay? I hate score predictions. On a score prediction show. All right. Rob, I'm not going to go
Robert's
with that.
gone with 2-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to. Liverpool have got plus 10 goal difference right now. I think they could. I think they could get 3. I think we're going to go with 3-1 on that for me.
Going to go with a 3-1 victory to
3-1.
Liverpool. I'm going to go with the 2-0 Liverpool. I'm going to go with what Robert said a minute ago. I think it will be a victory for Liverpool. Nick said you'd obviously fancy Liverpool, but away to Palace is always a fixture that you think is tricky for Liverpool. I think historically difficult. I'll go with a 2-1 Liverpool win. So I'm going to go with a 2-0. Right, on to the next game. And that obviously involves our beloved Southampton, who head to the Emirates. We're both going tomorrow. We're travelling up to the Emirates tomorrow to create some match content for each of our channels. What's your score prediction on this one at the Emirates?
So last time we were up there, last season, I think we pretty much derailed Arsenal's title chances, didn't we, with a 3-3? We were doing so well, and then we threw it away in the final few minutes, I think, wasn't it? I think we could win. No, no, I don't.
Our last win in a head-to-head at home was 1987.
Yeah.
Since then, Arsenal have won 19 and drawn 9 against Southampton at home.
They've got a lot of firepower, but I don't want to. I just don't want to write off Saints completely. I just don't think that you can do that because they have shown some really good intent. This is a tough one. I want to obviously see Southampton do better, but I'm going to go with an Arsenal win, and I think things can get worse before they get better. So I'm going to go with Arsenal 4, Saints 0.
I just hope they don't score an early goal. I think if they score an early goal, it could be floodgates. But
I think it could be.
All I want to see is
Yeah.
I want to see a performance from the boys tomorrow. I just want to see something, but I do think we'll get beaten. I think we'll get beaten by a few. Unfortunately, I'm going to go with I think we score there actually randomly. I'm going to go with a Southampton goal. I think we hit the back of the net, but I'm going to go with a 5-1 defeat, which is a little bit harsh, but I think I think a bit. Yeah, I'm going to go with 5-1. Yeah, get involved in the comments box below. Just give us your thoughts on it. Jack's joined us. Thank you for joining, Jack. He's follows both your channel and mine as well. He's a great lad. Thank you very much for joining.
Are we not thinking 9?
With
are we not going to hit that?
That would be horrible, wouldn't it? A 9-0 would be horrible.
Yeah. I think they've all got a 9-0 against them, and then things started changing a little bit after that, didn't they?
Yeah. Robert said he agrees with you, Jimmy. He said he agrees with you. Right.
You got to be realist. You know, of course, I support Southampton. You know, I love them. I'm a season ticket holder and have been for a long time. But if you're gonna come on in front of people, you know, you don't make this up. You know, you've got to be real, and you've got to look at the facts in front of you. And if we win, I'm totally happy, and I'll be glad to be wrong with that one.
Yeah, me too. I just hopefully we can keep it respectable. Right, a team that's below us in the division right now. They're in London as well. Wolverhampton Wanderers. They head down to the G-Tech Stadium this weekend to take on Brentford in a game that they will be desperately looking to get their first win of the season. Mixed start to the season for Brentford so far. They've taken 7 points in the opening in 6 games, though. They've won 2, drawn 1, and lost 3. They seem to start games particularly quickly right now. Wolves are desperate to finally get off the mark. They are yet to win a game this season, but they did give Liverpool a really good game last weekend when they hosted them at Molineux. How do you see this one going?
It's got to be Brentford, hasn't it? They've had a few tough games to start off their season, and I think that this is a point where they start turning and become that fighting power that they've shown in the previous seasons. I think Wolves are in dire trouble right now. Again, they've not had.
He's
an
under
easy
pressure,
start.
Gary O'Neill.
Yeah, they've not had easy start by any means, but they're their tails are between their legs right now, and that is a pun, by the way.
And we know how difficult they are to play against, don't we? We know how difficult Brentford are to play against because we've already been there and already been undone by them. Pretty direct, pretty powerful up front. The front three are a right handful. Yeah, I think. Do you think Wolves get beaten in this one? Do you see it?
Yeah. I think Wolves are going to get beaten. I think Brentford. I think it could be like 2-1. I think for Brentford.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go 3-0 Brentford in this one.
Wow.
Yeah, 3-0. They put 3 past us. I think they'll do the same to Wolves, but Wolves desperately need some points on the board. Right, to the Midlands now. Leicester City back at the KP. They take on a Bournemouth side who beat Southampton on Monday night down at the Vitality. Bournemouth look a really good outfit from what we saw. And Leicester City, their manager, Steve Cooper, he is under a bit of pressure. The ex-Nottingham Forest manager, obviously Leicester's rival, so his appointment never went down particularly well at the KB. Bournemouth are rock solid against Leicester City in the Premier League. Their head-to-head is very good. They've won 5, drawn 5, and lost 2. So Areola's side do fare pretty well at Leicester or against Leicester. I see that one going in Bournemouth's favour. I think it'd be an away win in that one, and we probably, as Saints fans, need it to be an away win, don't we? We need Bournemouth to go and win this one, really, because we don't want Leicester pulling away, do we?
Yeah, you think Bournemouth are going to do us any favours after some of the comments we've had on our vlogs this week from the Bournemouth fans? My goodness, so, some of them are try hard, that is for sure. But
they are.
We're going to stay consistent, and we like Bournemouth, and regardless of some of these petty, silly comments from silly boys, Bournemouth are a good side, and I want to see them do well. And I don't particularly like Leicester anyway. I think mainly because of Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, and their next game after this one is a trip to St Mary's after the international break, Leicester. So really big game for Saints. Down. Really big game. Yeah, be interested to see how this one goes. I'm going to go with an away win. I'm going to go with 2-1 Bournemouth in this one. For me, I was quite impressed with their new Brazilian striker through the middle. He's got his first Premier League goal against us. He's going to get a few more, isn't he now?
Very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah, okay, so I was going to go 2-1. So I'll have to change that, Martin.
2-1.
Yeah, no,
you change it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. I think Leicester have got goals in them. I'm going to go 3-2.
3-2. Going to go with.
It could be a feisty one, this one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it will be a good game. It will be a good one. Right, in London, West Ham United, they host Ipswich Town. Ipswich picked up a point against Aston Villa. It was a well-earned point as well, actually. I thought they played really well. But West Ham, they parted ways with David Moyes in the summer, replaced him with Julian Lopetegui, who is already under pressure after not the greatest start to their Premier League campaign. They're winless in their last 4 such games, drawn 2, lost 2. The Hammers have lost all 3 of their Premier League home games this season. Ipswich, they travel to East London, just a point worse off than the Hammers. I thought they looked really good at the weekend against Aston Villa in the second half. Impressed by Ipswich. How do you see this one unravelling at West Ham? Do you think West Ham get their first home win of the season?
Ipswich, they're quite a tough team, aren't they? And they just kept going and going and going. They just did not
do it again
in that game against us. And big credit to them. Met a lot of their fans, didn't we, after the game, and
we did.
Good bunch actually, and some
nice bunch. Yeah, I agree. Lovely bunch of fans
out of them. Yeah, really good. And to be honest, I think it could be a draw. This one. I'm not sure.
Another point.
Quite firing. Yeah, they're quite close at the moment. I'm going to go with a 1-1.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna. You know, I was thinking about a draw. You know, I think I was jotting down how I thought each fixture would go this weekend because I was looking to do my Super 6. I went with 2-2. So I'm going to stick with that.
Desmond.
I'm going to go with a Desmond. I'm going to go with a 2-2. Right, Man City. They are at home this weekend before the international break against Fulham, who've had a really good start to the season. Fulham, since that opening day defeat against Man United, they are unbeaten in the Premier League. They've had a really good start to the season. 1-3, drawn 2 since that defeat against United in the opening day. Man City, they're just relentless. They've not been beaten at home inside 90 minutes in 49 competitive matches. They could become just the 4th English top flight club to reach the half-century mark. Do you see Fulham causing an upset at Man City this weekend?
No. But I want to say that I think Fulham have done some really good business.
Brilliant business.
Over the summer. I think they've done really well. And I think they've strengthened their position in the Premier League. But I don't think they're up to beating Man City. They've had not the hardest start. They've not had any massive clubs. They beat Newcastle 3-1 already. Other than that, it's been West Ham, Ipswich, Leicester, Forest. So I think this will be the first big test for their team. But I can't see anything other than City winning right now. And City need to win to keep going against Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah, it's going to be a relentless title race between those. I think it'd be those three all the way. I just have this feeling that all three of them are going to be pushing. I like look at Liverpool. Obviously,
Maybe
City
even
look good,
Chelsea. Maybe even Chelsea this season.
yeah, Chelsea look good actually. I've been well impressed with them.
We'll come to them.
Another one, another side that's not had the greatest of starts to the season is Everton. They're at Goodison Park against Newcastle United this weekend.
We didn't get our predictions on the last game.
Oh, we didn't put our predictions in, did we? No. What are your
No.
predictions before we go on? Yeah, no, I jumped the gun on the predictions show. Yeah, what are your predictions? Man City, Fulham.
So I'm going to go with City 3, Fulham 1.
Yeah. I'm going to go with 2-1 City. I think City will win it, but I'm going to go 2-1. So 2-1. We're both going for City wins. I don't think it's hard to see beyond them right now. So it is Goodison Park. It's Everton who host Newcastle United this weekend. Not a greatest start for Everton. They did manage their first win of the season last week at home against struggling Crystal Palace. What are your thoughts been on Everton so far? Surprised at how poor they've been, or because they've got some good players. They've got some really good players. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is a class player. A man that you expect to score some goals this year.
Yeah, no, not really. I'm not surprised. Everton have been hanging on, I think, to the league for a couple of seasons now, haven't they? Obviously, they've had points deductions and things like that, but no, I'm not at all surprised that they are where they are, and they're one of the teams that could possibly even go down if some of the others get their games into gear. It's Newcastle will be a tough one, I think, for them.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really tough game. Even with it being at home, it'd be a toughie.
Yes, definitely. I think Newcastle have got a lot of firepower right now, and Anthony Gordon just looks insane.
Yeah, he's a brilliant player, isn't he?
Yeah, I think also Pickford's pretty good, but whether he's on the edge right now, I think we maybe Begovic has got to come back in.
Bring back Asmir. Bring back Asmir.
Yeah, I think Everton have got a pretty aging squad, especially their defence. So, I they've obviously not been spending a bit of money. They're just going to really struggle. Yeah, I think they'll get run ragged by Newcastle.
Yeah, I put down a 3-1 away win in this one.
Yeah, I was going to go 3-1. 3-0. 3-0 Newcastle.
Go 3-0. Yeah, 3-0 Newcastle.
Yep.
Yeah, so that wraps up all the Saturday games. So that's everything that takes place on Saturday. And then there's another 3 games on Sunday in the Premier League. We'll kick off with the 2:00 kickoff, which is the televised game. It's Aston Villa taking on Man United at Villa Park, and it's been quite the week for Unai Emery. His revolution at Aston Villa is well underway. It reached a glorious new highs in midweek as Villa beat 6-time European champions Bayern Munich 1-0 to make it 2 wins from 2 in the Champions League. But Man United, they have not had the greatest start to the season at all. They sit in 13th right now. 1 defeat from their last 25 visits to Villa Park, though. It's a bit of a bogey ground for them. Do you see Erik ten Hag getting a result that he needs in this one? Because, boy, he massively needs a result right now because he's under so much pressure, certainly after their result in European action yesterday.
Yeah, Harry Maguire saves the day again. I think that Man United are on the ropes. I don't think they've got the right manager for the team. I think that there's a lot going on around the club that is just rotten in there. I think they've completely lost their way. They don't know what their identity is, and there's in-house fighting. They've got an incredible bunch of players. You look, Rashford looked pretty good the other day. Garnacho, fantastic. But unlike against us, De Ligt, he looked awful in that European game. I think he made like two big mistakes. Really, the keeper got beaten at the near post, and Aston Villa. I've got a good mate that's been saying that the Villa are on the up, and they're really good. Villa have been absolutely amazing recently. So
got a great manager,
I
haven't
reckon.
they?
Yeah, they've done really well, and obviously Emery was at Arsenal for a bit, wasn't he? But didn't do too well. Yeah, I think he's done really well, and it's the right team, right squad right now for Villa. And they've got 13 points on the board, which is fantastic.
Yeah, they've had a great start, and doing really well in the Champions League as well. So fair play to them. Hopefully they can keep that going. We don't play them for another month or so, but I'm looking forward to going to Villa Park. Great place to go and watch football. So what's your score prediction? How do you see it unraveling?
2-1 Villa. It's a tricky one because Man United could bounce back, and they need to. And they always do seem to pull something out of the hat, don't they? Just as somebody's about to get sacked, they're like, "Nah, we'll wait a bit longer." It's almost like if he has lost the dressing room, they're in there and they're almost torturing the manager now. He's probably a bit too old school as well. He seems like a bit of a disciplinarian. That probably doesn't quite match the kind of players that they've got. They could probably do with a bit more of a man manager, I think, for a team like that.
Yeah, he's under fire, isn't he? Big time.
Maybe we'll get him if our boss goes.
yeah, and I'd be interested to see what they do there with Ten Hag. But I know recent history it favours Man United in this one. I actually think Villa will win it. I'm so surprised at how bad Man United were against Tottenham. They were really, really poor, I thought, against Tottenham. And Tottenham could have won that. If Son had been playing, they would have probably won it 6 or 7. He would have ripped him to shreds with his pace and his finishing. I'm going to go with a Villa win, actually. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Villa win. I don't think Man United get anything out of it. I think Villa will be on an absolute high from their midweek Champions League victory. And I'm going to put them down for a 2-0 win. Right, 2 more games to go to finish up this week's prediction show, our first ever prediction show together. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I hope you are too. You enjoying making some predictions?
Yeah, it's good. But I think we've got a relatively easy run here. I think there's some teams that are performing well coming up against some teams that aren't. So, but we'll find out when we review it on Monday.
Yeah, when we review it next week, it was like, look at it. Yeah, hopefully I'm going to put all these are going in my Super 6 as well. Right, Brighton now. They are at home against Tottenham Hotspur. I think it's a 4:30 kickoff. This one, so it's the late kickoff. Looking forward to this game. Enjoy
Chelsea,
watching Brighton.
Nottingham Forest at 2.
Oh yes, I've got that one on here as well. I've got that one as on my last one on the list. So we'll come back to that one. So Brighton, I enjoy watching Brighton play. I think they've got some really good players, and actually was so impressed this week with Tottenham's performance against United. Danny Welbeck, he's in really good form for Brighton right now. Scorer of 2 in Brighton's last 3 Premier League home games. He does bring a huge amount of experience. Feels like he's been around forever, Danny Welbeck. How do you see this one unraveling? Do you think that there's a home win here, or do you think that Tottenham rock up and nick the points?
I think Welbeck's been amazing for years, and it was always a kind of player that I'd hoped Saints would sign.
Needs someone like Welbeck.
Yeah, he scores with his head, his feet. He's just a hard-working goal scorer. He's fantastic. And he's not a huge guy either. He just nips in there, and that's exactly what we need, like a poacher, that can actually score, a bit like what Shane Long used to be, but with goals. So yeah. Do I think they can beat Spurs? Brighton are just fantastic. I think the last few years. I think this one's going to be a draw, though. I don't think Spurs can keep pushing on with they beat United 3-0 the other day, but United were poor. Yeah, I think this one's going to be maybe a 2-2 draw. I think there's going to be goals in it.
Yeah, I think there's going to be goals in it as well. I'm going to go with the draw. I'm going to back you, and you're going to hate me for it, but I'm going to back you. I'm going to go with the 2-2 draw as well. That's what I've written down as a 2-2 draw for this one. I think it'd be a close one. Two really good sides.
You can have one match.
Yeah, might be the only one. So only one match left to predict as well, because it's the game at Stamford Bridge. Like you said, it's the earlier kickoff on Sunday, same time as the Villa United game. Chelsea host Nottingham Forest at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea, they're you said earlier on in the show they're doing okay, aren't they? They're mounting evidence so far from Maresca is that he's finding his feet at Chelsea. Fifth successive win in all competitions against Genk on Thursday night, 4-2 victory for them. And they're the top goal scorers in the division at the moment, and they've probably got the player of the Premier League right now, Cole Palmer, who I just thought he was just magnificent last weekend. The goals that he scored were just unbelievable. To think he's English as well, it's just we're so lucky to be blessed with a player that good. But yeah, he looks the real deal, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, how many games did he start during the Euros for us?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's absolutely mental. The same for Gordon. They're the kind of things, in my opinion, that managers just look like idiots when they do it, and it's much the same as Russell Martin when he'll do something completely balmy. They're just things that everybody will question. But Chelsea, Cole Palmer, fantastic. Chelsea, though, just an unfairly strong squad. I mean, what they've done with the recruitment over the last couple of years is just crazy. But I do think that their defence isn't the best. I think that's their weak point. People like Cucurella.
Yeah, that's definitely their weak point.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I'm not sure if Reece James is playing at the moment, but he was fantastic. But
he's injured again. He's injured again.
Yeah, exactly. So what's that? Chilwell playing or something for him on the left?
I'll be able to tell you from Flash score. Yeah, Cucurella is having a better season than he did for them, because he struggled when he signed from Brighton, didn't he, Cucurella, for Arsenal? But I think he's definitely finding his feet a bit more this season, especially under Enzo Maresca. He plays a totally different style of football, Maresca, as well, isn't it? But it seems to be working with Chelsea. A lot of people thought he was really going to struggle going there. It's a massive step up, no disrespect to Leicester, but he's done really well, hasn't he, Maresca?
Yep, absolutely. I think
I've been impressed. Looking at the stats on this one, by the way, the hot streak is that Forest have lost their last 4 Premier League trips to London, conceding 3+ goals in each visit. So that might make your prediction that little bit easier.
Yeah. Again, Forest are not looking too bad in the table, but I think they have had some relatively simple games. I think Chelsea have just got to press on right now, and they'll be challenging for the top 3. I really liked what Forest did as well, bringing in some of them players, people like Elanga and things like that over.
Hudson-Odoi is playing well for them as well, and he looks a really good player.
They've got some real talent in there, and if they can utilise it, then great. It's going to be tricky. They beat Liverpool, didn't they? So, and Chelsea, can they continue their form? They have been a bit ropey, but I reckon that squad's got to be fired up right now, and that they're moving in the right direction. So, probably a 2-0 Chelsea for me.
Back in Chelsea.
I think so.
I'm going to go with a few. Yeah, I'm going to go with a few more. I'm going to go 4-0 Chelsea. I think someone else said it. Robert Baker said 4-1 4-1 Chelsea in the comments box, but I'm going to go 4-0, especially after seeing how Forest have done when they've gone to London the last few times. I'm going to go with a 4-0 win. That wraps up all the games. Actually, we've done predictions on every single Premier League game for game week 7. Hopefully, Southampton don't get annihilated like everybody thinks they're going to this weekend. I know that we've both gone against our team, but it's hard to see beyond the Arsenal in that one. What's the standout fixture for you when you look at the weekend's fixture? Which is the game you're looking forward to the most? Obviously, take away our game, so we're travelling to it. What's the one game you're looking forward to seeing and watching?
I think Spurs will be an interesting one. Spurs and Brighton. I don't really like watching Spurs though. Villa and Man United. I think that's a big game for both teams. Yeah, I think that's a big one. That's the one for me. Yeah, that's the 2 p.m. kickoff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Villa game. 2 p.m. kickoff. You can watch it as well. It's on Sky, so we'll be able to watch that game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Have we got any questions from people watching along?
Yeah, well, Robert's just jumped in. Robert's still in the comments box actually, and he's just put this score prediction in there for a championship game tomorrow down in Portsmouth. He's put Skates 0, Oxford 6. Yes, I am backing you all the way, Robert, with that one. Like that one. But
we did have a lot of people leaving comments on the post on our thing saying that we'll be playing our derby next season. Don't worry, but I'm not so sure we will be.
Yeah, I'm
even if we go down, I think maybe Pompey are heading towards League One right now.
Yeah, they are struggling. I think they get beaten tomorrow against Oxford, who got promoted at the same time as them. They reckon their manager will get sacked during the international break. They reckon he is on like thin ice. Managers on thin ice up and down the country. International break doesn't come at a particularly nice time, certainly for our manager and maybe a few of those other Premier League managers as well. I'm pretty sure we'll see 1 to 2 sackings during this international break, certainly in the Premier League. I may be wrong. Get involved in the comments box below. Give me your thoughts on who will get fired in this international break. There's not loads of you left now, but the guys that are tuning in, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, just get involved in the comments box below. We'd be very intrigued to know who you think gets sacked in this international break. Who do you think goes?
Russell Martin.
Do you think he gets sacked? Think he go? It feels.
I would like him to. I would really like him to
building
resign. Yeah, I'd prefer him to resign than get sacked, but I'm not sure that he would. Would fall on his sword. I think he looks like a beaten man.
There you go.
Yeah. I think he looks like a beaten man. Other than that, maybe Ten Hag, but I don't think that they want to sack Ten Hag. He's a big name, isn't he?
Yeah, it's going to cost them about 18 million, I think, to do that as well. Apparently, I got told today, or one of my friends was saying at work. Yeah, like spent a lot of money getting rid of Nathan Jones. What a disastrous appointment! Yeah. I think the thing is, if you do make a change, you have to have the right person lined up, ready to come in as well. It's got to be a quick transition. You can't go any period of time without a manager. If you're going to do it, you have to do it and do it quick. You can't mess about, can you? You have to be well prepared to do it.
Somebody asked me earlier. They said, maybe he is going, but who would you have? And it's like, it doesn't matter who I would pick, because I don't think that our board would pick somebody that any of us will have our eye on. It's always somebody a bit obscure or that we've not really been thinking of.
Someone a bit left field, bit hipster, like a hipster appointment.
Someone hipster, or maybe that they've had their eye on for a little while. It's definitely been a buddy. But a lot of the appointments have been buddy signings and buddy managers that they've wanted at previous clubs. So hopefully they've learnt their lesson. But But anyway, we're up early tomorrow morning.
Very early.
Really looking forward to that trip as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm massively looking forward. Make sure you go give Jimmy a follow if you're tuning in on my channel at the Jimmy Cheese. And if you're tuning in on the Jimmy Cheese, make sure you go give me a follow at @footballmartin_. We would both appreciate the likes on the video as well and the subscribers as well. It makes a massive difference to the channel. So your support means the world to me, and I'm sure it means the world to you as well.
It does, yeah. It's more than that as well. It is a community, and anybody that tunes in, you've got to remember that that's what we're doing this for. It's not just there's not any money in it or anything like that. Really, it's we're doing this because we love the club. We enjoy making videos, and we enjoy meeting people at football. So you don't have to be experts. Yeah, everybody has an opinion, and everybody's entitled to their own.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, really appreciate you. Really appreciate you joining me for Premier League predictions. Thank you all for tuning in this Friday evening. See you again soon with another live stream on the channel.